today on Sonoran Living Live. Whether you like football or not, chances are you tuned in for the commercials at least. A Valley ad exec shares his best and his worst. How do yours compare? Well, of course, most of the world was watching the commercials.
Definitely. That's what I was watching. Yes.
Because that kind of covers the football player or the football fans and the people that just watch for the commercials.
Right. So we were watching the commercials, so we decided to have someone very special on the show. I had my favorites, by the way. We've called in Dave Rager. He is a creative director of air marketing, and he is going to play the armchair quarterback this morning. We liked certain things. You liked certain things. I hope you liked what we liked. Welcome to Sonoran Living.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's good to have you.
Thanks.
Let's start with the things that you liked the most.
Okay.
From just kind of all-encompassing, did you feel like there were a lot of touchdowns, pun intended?
Yeah, very good stuff.
In this.
I thought this was a okay year, not the best, I guess, but it was okay. There were a few hits in there that I thought were all right.
Well, let's talk about those hits. In particular, the VW dog commercial.
Right. Yes.
That was a good one for you.
It was a good one, I think, and the fact that it was released early and we had a chance to see it and ahead of time was kind of fun. But this was a great spot in the sense of this dog feeling like here comes a car that's worthy to go chasing and I can't do it, and so it's all about this dog getting into shape and trying to get back.
And, a lot like that dog sometimes.
Exactly.
But this has great production value, great little touches like that with he's not eating the hot dogs from the kids' table and just getting ready to go, and now he's ready, and there goes the car, and he's ready to take off.
Yes, and he does.
You know what I find, what really jumps out to me at this, not really the dog jumping out the door, but is the emotional connection, because, I mean, you can relate either through, like, him having to get in shape or just being a dog lover.
Sure.
You have a response to that. And is that part of what makes a good commercial?
Sure. I think you got to connect with people. I think this, too, is interesting that this is a commercial within a commercial where they pull back at the end, and they're in the bar scene from Star Wars, and they actually talk about how which spot did they like best, the one from last year or this one, and so that was kind of fun as well. But yeah, dogs work well with people.
Well, and I found in all the commercials, it was dogs, it was babies, it was beautiful women, beautiful men. I think that pretty much sums it up, right? Yeah. If you don't like any of those, you shouldn't be watching TV.
Right.
Can't get away from it.
I did see one post on Facebook, and I had missed the commercial, so I'm glad that we're going to recap it here. This person said that they weren't really feeling the Audi commercials, but it was one of the ones that she felt like, particularly the one with the vampires, was one that worked.
For me, it worked because Audi is usually all about performance and has a little more sophistication the way they present themselves, and so for them to have something that had some humor to it, and it was totally unexpected.
Let's take a look at some of the video, and if you can describe, just in case people haven't
Again, this is just talking about, this is like all these vampires get together in the forest and start doing all these things that people know vampires do now because they're so popular with all the shows and movies, and so it's kind of fun to think that they do this, get together. And then you have this car pull up with this incredible feature about the headlights being like as if they're daylight.
Oh, so the daylight headlights.
So the daylight headlights. So as he pulls up and to the party to want to join them, he vaporizes them.
I kind of like that.
What do you think makes a commercial Super Bowl worthy? It struck me that they don't do great commercials like this all the time. Why wouldn't you do commercials like this all the time?
Well, I think part of it is, you know, it is the Super Bowl. You got 100 million people watching.
Okay, that's true.
And so usually advertisers just figure we're going to pull out all the stops and give a lot of money to it and use the best creativity we can.
So as an ad exec, do you find that companies are unable to sustain that sort of creativity and those production values and that kind of dollar investment throughout the year? Sometimes.
I think it's expensive to try to do a Super Bowl spot with the kind of money it takes to produce it and as well as run it, obviously. I think it was $3.5 million this year for a 30-second spot.
Right.
That's all? I mean, just
drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
What do you think the worst one was?
Well, I was disappointed with Career Builder. Did one where they had the chimpanzees, and it's you want to change your job. They did some really great spots a few years ago.
Yeah, I remember those.
And they were hits and everything, but then all of a sudden it shows up again this year, and it's just sort of the same old thing. And I just felt it kind of went flat. Same old gags with the guy in the office and making fun and. Anyway.
It makes me wonder, though, if you're on the best or the worst, if you're talked about from an ad exec perspective, it matters not, because the discussion is there.
Well, that's
right?
that's the whole point, I think, of them releasing things early. They want a lot of buzz. They want this social aspect of these things to be passed around by people and talked about. That's free advertising. So.
Okay, so from where you sit, hey, you're fine with that.
If they want to do it, sure. Sure,
okay,
I guess I can't complain.
Your last one that you thought was not so great.
Yeah, the last one was, again, this Pepsi commercial, and I thought they felt kind of flat, too. Pepsi's had some real winners over the years, and this one is kind of a rehash of an old idea from, again, years ago, where a Coke guy wants to choose Pepsi, and it's just, again, sort of a different take on the same old idea.
You didn't like that?
Did you?
I mean, every single one I watched, I laughed. Even the career builder one that you said with the monkeys, I laughed.
Well, it's not that, I guess, that I wouldn't laugh. I mean, there's certainly a lot of great commercials there. It's just that they're ones that I expected more, I guess, out of Pepsi. And
Pepsi's done some good ones over the year. Well, you know the one that I remember the most out of any Super Bowl, and I don't know why I remember, is that Super Bowl Shuffle. Do you remember that one with all the football players doing the Super Bowl Shuffle? I don't remember what the product was.
Oh, see, that's not a good commercial if you don't remember the product.
I feel like it was, the reason why I say that is because I thought it was a Pepsi. It was like a Pepsi base.
I can't remember. I don't know.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you.
It was fun. I only watched the Super Bowl, you know, the big game, because of the commercials.
Right. Okay, so we're going to have perhaps some of these online on our Facebook. Maybe we can try and put them up there. And we appreciate it, Dave.
Good.
Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you. You bet.